Ah,
Craig.
hello.
Craig is my boyfriend. I will kiss him with my lips. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Dungeon, Dragon, and Dungeon again. With me, your host, Mayo Nasi.
Hello.
How's everybody doing on this fine night? And I just poked myself with a needle because I'm fidgeting with it. How's everyone doing?
I am so freakishly annoyed by this photo editor.
I am just soft vibes, I suppose.
Well,
vibing.
the soft vibes are gonna
But
stop
straight
real
up
soon.
vibing in this pandemic. Welcome to the
I'm about-
Zone.
I'm about to instill incredible amounts of paranoia into your bones.
Hell yeah.
Are you ready to die?
Absolutely, always.
Totally. I'm just telling
Fantastic.
my mom about dinner and I am good. Let's go.
Okie dokie. Are you ready to start?
Yes.
What the hell did we do last time? Last time on Borealis, you and the gang finally got back to school. It was Seb's first day, and of course they were a little bit disoriented. Seb was dropped off at Casper's house, Kayla at Casper's house, where Seb kind of revealed just about everything that was going on to Casper.
Same.
They
Yep.
became quick friends, but, you know, now Casper knows a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Soon after, but before that, they talked to Michael, who revealed that Jeremy was acting a little strange. I think it was Lillian who noticed that Jeremy was standing weirdly off into the corner and quietly requested that with you know, like the universal symbol for shut the fuck up. Requested that she keep his presence a secret. After dropping off Sebastian, after talking to Michael, the party headed down to Solaris' office, where Solaris revealed that he knew literally everything that they were doing.
F in the chat.
Solaris would rather keep the school on lockdown and safe if anything drastic was to happen, but the party insists that they must be the ones to go and stop Raymond Hashimoto. Solaris kind of came to the conclusion that nothing he will do will be able to stop them since they're just so determined. Solaris' stance on the situation has not been necessarily resolved as of yet. Now, you and your party find yourselves outside of Omega's lab. You're standing in his yard. He's formally requested your presence because, quote, science stuff, guys, there's science things going on.
Alright, so we're just standing outside?
Yep. I'm gonna say that the scene opens. I'm gonna say the scene opens inside of his lab. Welcome back to Omega's lab, our unofficial home base for the party, for Ass Gang. Omega's lab is about relatively how you remember it, with many like chalkboards sort of haphazard across the walls, with drawers of tinker tools and constructs and stuff kind of around. The two pods near the front of the near the front of the room that had Dr. Reyes and Mel in them. Those are empty and kind of pushed aside with tarps on them because no one's in them anymore. And as you enter the lab, you see Mel and Sutton. Dr. Reyes is not present for whatever reason. I don't really have a reason for him to be present, so he's just not going to be there. But you see Mel and Sutton. Mel and Nim are sitting next to each other. Nim's like sitting on the floor with like fidgeting with Mel's hand and kind of like bothering them a ton, and like whispering jokes, and Mel's like losing it, and Omega turns around to glare at them because attached to Mel and Sutton are kind of like these nodes, like on their temple and the front of their, and like the middle of their forehead, and it's attached to this machine, and they're being analyzed and scanned and stuff. Sutton's kind of just sitting there quietly with a blanket over their shoulders, kind of glancing over to Nim and Mel, and not necessarily knowing what exactly to do. But as you enter, Omega turns around and says, "Oh, bitch, finally you're here."
Are we late?
I mean, a little bit, but you know what? I shouldn't expect anything from you guys. Okay, so if everything I hear from Nim is correct, you guys nearly got when you're getting this dude out of there, and he points at Sutton.
I suppose, yes, that would be accurate.
Okay, not to jump this on you, but get in the fucking chairs. He points to 4 chairs.
They all sit down, I
Yeah.
assume.
Yeah, wait, Killock looks like he's gonna say something about Omega swearing and is like, no, wait, yeah,
No,
that
not
always
the
happens.
time.
And he just,
It's
he's like, I'm
Omega,
not gonna
don't worry
bother.
about it. So you guys head over to the chairs. I honestly don't know where the session's gonna go, so I just sprung it to the first scene that I had in mind, so this is where we're going. So he sits you guys down in the chairs, and similarly he pulls out a couple haphazard pieces of technology. One of them looks like maybe like a Game Boy, and he puts it on like the floor next to Jarissa. And he pulls out like a laptop and like a phone. He's like, I only have so many things to scan people's brains with, so I've kind of messed around with these. They should do to keep the information. It won't be like perfect, but you know, it'll do. And he attaches a couple like nodes to your guys' foreheads and the such. And it's kind of uncomfortable. It's kind of cold, but like, you know, it's science. So Omega sort of stands up and he looks around. He nods at the progress. He nods at his faithful subjects, but then he looks at his like phone. He pulls out his phone and he like squints at it and glares, and he puts it away. And then he takes it out a moment later and sends a text and he puts it away. And then he takes it out again and he sends like 3 more texts and he puts it away. It's like, shit, okay, you know what? I don't know how long I'm gonna have all you guys here, because you guys probably have like class, or you're gonna run off and do some heroics or whatever. But Theodore's not here. He was supposed to show up here, but Theodore's not here. But you know what? I can make do. So he's like, I meant to have like a control that wasn't anywhere near like exposure, because like I'm gonna test your brainwaves. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm here to test your brainwaves to see how this stuff kind of works. But if we can't have Theodore as a base, we'll just have to simply use. And he goes and he reaches under a table and pulls out another, like he pulls out like a DSI or something that's been modified to scan brainwaves, and he pulls out 3 more nodes, and he's like, we're gonna have to use me! And he slaps the nodes on his forehead.
Well,
Okay.
Modern problems require modern solutions.
Modern problems require modern solutions. Okay, so I'm going to be testing your brainwaves to see exactly what happens to people who are exposed to, exposure, cured from exposure. See if they have any connection remaining. I just want to see what's up with your brains. Not in like a weird way, but I'm gonna pick your brains. And Sutton kind of like glances over and smiles nervously, and Mel kind of like looks up and nods. I don't know what I'm doing. So firstly, he asks everyone to close their eyes. Just like, can you guys just close your eyes? I'm gonna pick one of you, and see what's going on. Okay, everybody close your eyes. Everybody close your eyes. He shuffles around in a drawer, and he pulls out what looks like a flashcard. He's like, okay, everybody close your eyes. Close your fucking eyes.
Eyes are closed.
Eyes are closed.
Inside.
Sutton was the first one to close their eyes. They're like, okay.
Drissa winks at him for the meme.
And, and he's like, okay. And so he goes over to Lillian first. And he taps Lillian on the shoulder. And he goes, okay, open your eyes. Not everybody else, but just Lillian. Just Lillian, open your eyes.
So, like,
Alright.
obviously opens her eyes.
Okay. Look at this card. And he shows her the card. It looks kind of like a circle with the dot in it. Look at this card. Now, I want you to try and transmit the image of this card to the rest of the people in this room. Just, like, think about it.
Just think about the card?
Yeah, think about what's on the card and try to transmit it to everybody else in the room.
Because she's, like, squinting, trying to, like, brainwave it to other people. She's trying her best. She's like...
He kind of like nods and he hears the machines with the brain scanning start up. And he kind of like tosses a card onto her lap and starts looking at everyone's machines. And like his claw has a notepad in it, and he plucks it from his own claw and he starts scribbling down some notes. And he nods and you hear his little feet pitter patter across the room over to Sutton and Mel, and he takes more notes and he nods a bit. He's like, okay. Thank you. You can close your eyes again.
Okay, she's still like holding on to the card, but she closes her eye.
Yeah, that works. He pulls out another card, and he shuffles over to Mel, and he taps Mel on the shoulder. He's like, okay, open your eyes, please. And Mel opens their eyes. And he pulls out another card, and it's got like actually you don't know what's on the card because it's not facing you. And he shows it to them, and he's like, okay, like what I told Lillian, please try to transfer the data, the stuff in this card, to the rest of the people in the room, okay? And Mel, like, nods and, like, squints. It squints a little harder. It kind of, like, bites their lip and, like, is focusing. And you guys, you don't, like, have any telepathic revelations or anything. Honestly, you just kind of feel awkward sitting in this room with some sticky stuff on your forehead. Like, it's just kind of, you know, like you might rather be somewhere else, but, you know, you're here, and you're sitting in a room with a bunch of people. But, there's some notable sound coming from, Sutton's machine. And, Omega kind of goes, oh, shit. And he shuffles over to it, and he takes a couple notes, and he's like, dang, okay, Mel, close your eyes. Sutton, can you transfer this image to everybody? Or at least try to. And Sutton sort of, like, takes the card, like, nervously. It's like, I'm not sure exactly what you're, testing, but I'm not sure if it'll work necessarily. Is it mandatory? I just don't know if I have to. It's like, well, if you want to, go ahead. It's for science. So if you appreciate science or any sort of, you know, learning possibility. I'm 12 years old. I would like to learn. So if that corrects your moral ambiguity about this situation, please just know that it's for a 12-year-old's personal education. And the son kind of like blinks, like, okay, sure, great, yeah, I'll do it. So I have to turn off this fan. It's not doing anything for my focus. The ADHD.
ADHD.
So Sutton kind of closes their eyes and focuses on the image on the card. And let's see here. Can everybody please roll wisdom? Just roll a wisdom
Sure thing.
check.
What's my modifier?
I forgot to pull up my thing. What do you call it?
Dingus.
Okay, 17.
15.
7.
That's accurate for Jarissa, I feel.
Yeah.
It's a good roll for Jarissa.
11.
Okay, so everybody, so 7. Someone got 7.
I
Yeah.
got 7.
Okay, cool. Jarissa, you get a foggy image of a balloon. It's like a balloon that's got like a little squiggly string on it. You just kind of got this squiggly balloon, and no one else really gets this image. Mel's machine kind of goes crazy for a bit. But yeah, no one else really gets anything except for Jarissa. And
Okay, so when you have low wisdom, you get the vibe. If you're intelligent, you fail the vibe check.
This is
If
a
you
no
are smart.
brain cells challenge.
no
Only
brain allowed.
himbos can get the forbidden balloon content.
That's why I have obtained the forbidden balloon in my own head.
Christ. Let's see here. So, Omega asks, tells everybody to open their eyes again. And he says, okay, so, based on the very few tests I just did here, I could come to a horribly educated assumption. But I'm not going to do human tests on people, which is a little bit fucked up. So, to avoid, breaking the Hippocratic Oath, which I never took, I'm gonna kind of go off the bare assumptions I have made here today on this day. So, if somebody who has been temporarily exposed or kind of near it, but not like to an extent where it infects you, they cannot transmit any data, or for the most part, receive data. It was kind of like a hit and miss. It's like you were shot with a bullet, but in your foot, which is kind of like not a very fatal place, Those who have been affected, which was Mel, our tester was Mel here, those who have been infected and got uninfected later, they have a bit more of a transmission property to those who have been infected. So Mel was able to transmit an image to Sutton if they focus really hard on it. So I guess it has to be really purposeful, as opposed to instinctual, constant knowledge, like it was when it was active.
It makes sense that there would be residual effects, I suppose.
But here's the interesting part. So he shuffles over to Sutton, and Sutton's like, what? And he's like, Sutton, for all intents and purposes of this, we're gonna say it's kind of like a hive mind, right? We've established it's like a hive mind. For all intents and purposes, Sutton was kind of in control of a good portion of the hive mind without kind of being aware of it. So, we need to think of a cool name. Anybody got any suggestions for a leader of hive mind?
What about Hive King?
That actually kind of slaps. Okay, we're gonna go for that. I'm sitting here like, guess so.
I thought you meant like a name, and I was like, fucking Richard Ring.
Fucking Richard.
What about that pink cat from Animal Crossing?
That one cat from Animal Crossing. Yeah, Animal Crossing. But Sun's like, okay, Hive King. That's an interesting name. I don't think I quite fit the king part of that description, but I understand where you're coming from. We'll go for that. I understand what you're trying to say. And Omega goes, okay, yeah, we're gonna have to work on the gender inclusivity of that term, but for the purposes of this experiment, we're gonna just say Hive King. If someone who, at least temporarily, was a Hive King tries to transmit the data is transmitted more effectively to even those who weren't fully infected.
All right.
So,
Interesting.
from this, we can glean that there's absolutely a hierarchy.
So it's like in Killer Ross's temples. So it's level like it's like a pyramid scheme, but with a hive mind.
I wouldn't say it's a pyramid scheme, but I would say it's more along the lines of like an MMORPG where people with higher level shit can do more than people with lower level shit. It's like Club Penguin membership.
Interesting.
It's like an ability tree where like the higher ups can do more, I guess.
Yeah,
Would that make
yeah.
sense?
Ah, God. And he gets he pulls out his phone and he looks at it and he like squints. It's like, fucking Theodore, that's not helping. And he texts back. And he puts his phone back in his pocket. He's like, again, Jesus, if you can't show up to my experiments, at least like say something beforehand. Theodore just texted me like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't show up. I had something, and then sent a fucking emoji that was not relevant at all. And I just fucking hate teenagers. I know he's like 20, but like the point stands.
It's the God, what was the word? It's the vibe.
It's the vibe. Fucking hate teenagers. Anyways, but like, you know, there is such a thing as a perception check.
You're right. Oh shit. Can I roll perception then?
Sure, yeah, sure.
15?
Can you roll me Arcana?
Sure. 22.
Alright. So, Lillian, as he mentions Theta texting him, you immediately fall into the sepia tone.
The scoop road.
The squib zone. And from there, it's like you fall backwards out of your chair into this dark area with this infinite expanse of black glass. You've been here before, and this is where you get your prophecies, your visions, and you are very much thrown into a very intense vision. You see, kind of like the world around you, but as though it was made of this opaque black glass. So you see like glass Kalok, and you see like glass Jerissa, and it kind of looks cool, but the phone inside of Omega's hand is lit up with red, and out of the phone is a red balloon, and this balloon is simply just like dangling there, like attached to the phone, like, you know how balloons do. It's some like Pennywise shit. Not gonna lie.
I was just about to say, I was literally typing that.
It's just kind of like there. What do you do in this
Ominous.
vision? What do you do in this vision?
Lillian is like, damn, okay, Pennywise, we're gonna ask, like, but like not actually. She like walks up to this like mysterious like glowing red phone with like balloon, and like she like tries to like pick up the phone.
Okay,
To like
you do so.
that roll.
It's in your hand.
Yes.
You're holding it.
Is it gonna do anything?
I mean, it's a phone.
Is
You're
it
holding it.
normal phone?
I mean, it's made of glass because you're in a vision, but like, it's got out of the screen. It's got the balloon string. It kind of
Okay,
looks cool.
I'm gonna grab the balloon, like pull it down like from the string, like you do it like when you like grab a balloon.
Yeah, when you grab a balloon. Yeah, okay. So you pull the balloon down. You're holding the balloon more further on the string.
Okay, the balloon's like, okay, this shit's doing nothing. She puts the phone back into Glass Omega's hand and also lets go of the balloon.
So let me see. How am I gonna do this? Lillian, as you put the phone back into Omega's hand, it doesn't fit perfectly because you like pulled it out of his frozen hand and you can't quite get it back into his hand perfectly. And as it kind of like precariously dangles there, it slips out of his hand, and the balloon attached to it sort of lowers it down gently, down to the floor. And just as it touches the glass floor, everything goes pitch black, except for Omega, who is now illuminated in that same bright red. And the balloon rises up again, but the phone is shattered and broken. And as it rises up, it like sort of drops the phone and it smashes on his head, but the shards of glass like stab into his head. And if you look close enough, it almost looks like a crown.
Holy shit.
Oh shit. Also, hello.
Balloon's like, what the fuck? Kind of like backs up away from like mysterious glass bloody Omega.
It's not blood, it's just this red light inside of him.
It's just Mountain Dew. She like kind of like almost instinctively like backs away from where Omega is standing.
And he's frozen there because, this is just a vision. But he's almost like a silhouette. You can't quite make out, like, the light inside of him is like so bright, he's like a silhouette. You can't quite make out details, but you can make out the fact that there's now 2 arms coming from his back, and then 3, and then 4 robot arms, and there's just this, it's like, it's terrifying and confusing, and in this frozen moment, his head turns to look at you, and his eyes are bright blue.
Oh my god.
And you are awake again.
Lynn's like
This sucks.
she's sitting there. She's like the I am looking away emoji, like okay. She's like trying very hard to like stay composed because she knows that she's not gonna get to say shit to anyone.
Omega's like looking at his phone, and he's like kind of scratching his face. He's like, fucking hate this guy. Anyways, Lillian, you look nervous. Are you on your period? I don't know. What's wrong with you?
Oh my god.
Jesus.
No.
No,
No.
no,
No.
no, no, you're fine.
Second period joke in the campaign.
Only the second?
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm good. She's not convincing at all, but she's trying her best.
Can you make a deception check? Or are you trying to lie to him?
18.
Okay.
He's like, okay.
Okay. He's
Lillian
like,
just always looks like she's about to have a nervous breakdown. It's fine.
Yeah,
that's just her personality. He's
that's
like,
her state of being.
okay. You know, if there's anything about the experiment that you're not telling me, that's like against what the experiment is for. So if something happened to you, please fucking say something. Jesus.
Well, it's not directly related. Right?
So something did happen?
Well, okay, I'm not even gonna be able to say anything, but, like...
Oh, fuck. Did your shitty ghost dad do something? Listen, you're terrible at lying. Like, you told me everything was okay, but I'm like, I was the first one to figure out what was going on with you, because I'm smart.
Yeah, you're right. But yeah, ghost dad.
Fucking Jesus. Okay, well, if it's anything related to the experiment, I guess try to communicate it, but otherwise, I suppose, like, if you don't have to.
Well, I mean, I'd sure like to, but, like, I probably won't be able
No
to,
harm
like...
in trying, though, right? Like, worst comes to worst, you just make the weird dial-up noise.
You're right. So basically, there was, like, this, like, weird, like, everything was glass, which was, like, weird, and then, like, Omega's phone was, like, all glowy red, and there was, like, a balloon, like it was it or something, and then, like, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna see what this is, and then, like, shit hit the fan, and it was, like, everything, like, went, like, dark, and then Omega, and, like, there's, like, shit with, like, glass, and then his eyes were, like, blue, and that was it.
Omega just kind of, like, blinks. Just
Did
kind
it
of
all
like,
get through?
yeah.
Oh, snap.
He blinks and he's like, well, there's a lot to unpack there, so I'm just gonna throw out the whole suitcase. Shit. You
Yeah,
say,
this is,
blue eyes?
Yeah.
Great, okay, so guess I'm, okay, fuck. Shit. Guess I'll fucking die,
I
well,
mean...
if what Lillian's vision is, rather than a warning, is more of a prediction, maybe it's... And he's like, back when we first started conversing and this was starting out, didn't you use this one component for your arm things?
yeah, I do have Heart of the Mountain, like, in my body, so... That
And-
makes me more prone to it, so fucking great. Okay.
Is there a way to remove it?
I'm 12 years old. I can put things into my body. I don't know if I can take them out.
Oh, Jesus.
So there'd be no avoiding it even if you try.
I suppose not.
I mean,
Well,
does
we
the visions don't necessarily mean it's gonna happen, right? Like we can prevent it probably. I assume just like
Exactly.
be
It doesn't
careful.
mean it's inevitable.
Yeah.
It just doesn't add up otherwise, though. I mean, if the heart of the mountain is already in Omega's body, then it's halfway there, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but that doesn't mean that Omega's doomed or anything. Like
Exactly.
we shouldn't act like, oh, it's inevitable or whatever. It's still worth it to try and like make sure whatever you saw doesn't happen.
You know what? I'm not gonna have this discussion here and now because I'm not very good with emotional situations when they're centered on myself. So I'm gonna focus on something else. You said it was a balloon, because I find you said it was a red balloon.
Yes, it was red. It was a balloon.
That was the emoji that was sent to me by Theta. That was the emoji he sent.
I mean, then it would have to mean something if I, saw it.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it was like a weird side effect of the thing. Maybe it was just like a regular. Maybe it was like exposure giving you a weird vision, and like maybe it was like, oh, we're gonna infect Omega. This is what's gonna happen if you don't stop us.
That is a fair point.
Maybe that's just how the information was transferred.
But, I mean, we can hope.
I'm gonna do the hoping thing. I'm just gonna hope.
It's good
Okay.
to be optimistic in this situation.
Yeah. Okay. Great job, everybody. Thank you for coming to my fucking house. And letting me attach Game Boys to your skin.
You're welcome.
I'm going to process this data here. Maybe the data that you've told me, but you guys can feel free to skedaddle if you want to. Meaning, please leave. That includes Sutton and Mel and Nim also. Get out of my fucking house. He just beams.
And then Kayla just kind of like an awkward thumbs up and like heads up to leave.
Lillian's the first one to stand up.
Did you
She's
say
like, okay, okay.
Game Boys to your skin?
What?
Sorry, I heard attaching Game Boys to your skin. I've just been sitting here. Hi, by the way.
It's
Hi.
okay. We can. This is a decent pause point. Shine mentioned wanting to pause at now to like move upstairs, and like since we're being booted out of Omega's lair, it might be a good point to catch up. Mike.
Yes, that would be quite nice. Thank you.
Hey, I just got like one more thing to say before we take a break.
All right.
So, as soon as he's ensured that you guys have left, he kind of like walks over to kind of the main computer terminal in his room, and he pulls it up, and he's got a bunch of documents open about part of the mountain and stuff, but he deletes a few words at the top of a document and writes Hive King at the top. And he kind of looks down at this list. It's got two people on it. It's got Sutton and it's got Raymond. But beside Raymond, is an email address. And he just kind of stares at it.
Oh,
Oh?
a worm?
Anyways, let's take a break.
I wonder what his email address is.
6969 at hotmail.com.
What's the minimum number of characters you can have on an email?
Probably like 1.
Probably I'd say
HR@hr.gov.
.gov?
I don't know how he pulled that off.
Who the fuck is he leading? I don't trust him with a government position.
Okay, I'll be right
No, he
back. I'm
doesn't
getting
like the
a drink.
government.
Raymond really said communism time.
These the means of exposure.com.
Exposure.com.
He is the government now.
We are with exposure. We are all the government.
Hooray!
Okay,
Government
so
for the people.
the basic catch up is Omega called up Asgang to his science lair, and Mel, Sudden, and Nim were already there. Theo canceled last minute through text, and Omega basically just hooked up everyone to like nodes and wires, and it's like, I'm gonna do a social experiment. I'm gonna do an experiment about whether y'all can like still transmit information to each other, and like, and the results were like anyone who was quote unquote Hive King with higher power, also known as Sudden, if they try very very hard, they can like convey information to anyone who's like been exposed to exposure.
Excellent.
Yes, and anyone who is just like exposed in general can sort of do the same thing to other people who were fully exposed, but people who have only been like half exposed or just in the general vicinity, like Asgang, like can't transmit anything. I think that was the idea.
Yeah. Anyone who's been sort of exposed, anyone who's been in the same room as it, like halfway there, but didn't get all the way. They can like sort of get inklings of information if their mind is feeble enough.
Okay.
People who have already been exposed and then broken free, they can transmit to Hive Kings, but they can't transmit to unexposed people. But Hive Kings can transmit to both of them if
I
they try
see.
hard enough.
Interesting.
And then Lillian had a sort of like upside down Stephen King moment vision. The balloon.
A balloon and Omega with like a glass like crown and blue eyes.
Nice.
I look at
So many
Mike.
arms.
I look at
Freaking glass crown.
I look at my drawing stylus. Rubs my head.
I just stare at Mike.
I am slurping up this information with a bendy straw.
I am
Slurp,
staring
slurp.
at Mike with my eyeballs.
Delicious. Boy, I
Oh,
sure
sugar in
love
my water.
containing information.
What
Thank
shape
you, Raymond.
is the straw? The bending straw is like says like ass on it.
Amazing. Oh boy, I'm very
I'm here with
excited.
like my Winnie Pooh plushie, and you're talking about red loons, and I'm like, vibe
Uh?
check. Hello.
Me and the Winnie the Pooh confirmed. But like she does have like that cottagecore aesthetic.
The
I'm just
only
trying to
red
think.
kin is Winnie the Pooh.
I'm just trying to think of
In Winnie the
what
Pooh.
scene to do next, because I don't really have anything super planned, but I do have kind of like a Squiblock scene in mind.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
I think
would
maybe
be-
sort of like if we do something like that, should it be like a separate thing, or like do we do it in main session? And I'm like, let's be real.
It's canon already. Lillian called Kalok dad, and Omega called Script Lillian's ghost dad.
Yeah, then Killick was like, does this mean something? Wait,
like, are these
like,
feeling? Are these?
you just sort of like, wait, but that like, I'm the sort of father figure thing here. It's
Yeah.
fun, but it's like, but wait,
But
what
wait.
if it's
The dots are slowly connecting.
very, very slowly?
I have a how funny to make. I need to find the picture.
So yeah, the image was like very randomly sent in the portal server by one of the Magnus artists.
Oh my god.
My phone is bugging out, so I could only send it to general, but
Incredible.
It was okay. It was apparently sent by Eros, actually.
yeah.
So I'm trying to think of things that we could do during the rest of the session. I could have a free roam period. You can explore the school and talk to people. I could have the squid block moment. I could you could talk to R.
Everyone goes to his home like,
It's like I don't want to do that.
we love her, but we are scared.
Just I feel fear.
I'm having thoughts.
You're
Oh,
having
unfortunate.
I'm having thoughts.
Then
Can
he
you
was
message me the
brainful.
thoughts? Can you message them to me?
I'm not having any specific thoughts. Just in general. I beat a whole video game yesterday.
What
So-
video?
Half-Life.
Ooh, nice.
Nice.
I know that Half-Life VR thing is trending on the Tumblrs with my mutuals.
Yeah, it's pretty wacky. I went and
You know-
played the actual game, and now I contain information.
You know, sometimes I forget that not all of you guys know what I'm scheming for the end of this campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike
have
knows
no idea.
absolutely everything that I'm scheming.
Mike,
Mike has the information.
I have the information.
Mike knows exactly what the Omega prophecy that just happened means.
Yeehaw.
hi.
And you will fear it.
Lord.
Okay, I am having more what is a word that relevant? That's the word. I don't know English sometimes. I'm having more relevant thoughts, so I will
Oh.
enter DMs.
Well, the three of us are like, we are just sitting here.
We're
Are you
just
sitting
we're
in
just
fear? Are you fear? Are you scared?
No, I'm excited.
I am fear, not necessarily scared, but just like not knowing where this is going at all.
Mhm.
Just a good thing. I'm gonna be surprised no matter what happens because I don't have the cells. I just look at has ever thought anything in his life. No.
Oh, my back fucking hurt.
Can y'all hear me all
Can you
right?
hear me all right? Yeah, can you hear
Yes.
me good?
Someone's
Big
echoing though.
Oops.
Probably me.
Anyway. I'm sorry. I have TikTok on the mind 24/7.
Does it work better now?
Yeah, we can hear you good.
But someone's echoing though.
Mhm. Let me get shine.
Yeah.
But also, I'm not sure.
Plug in your headphones or something.
My headphones are plugged in.
Okay, we'll do it better.
Does anyone not have headphones plugged in right now?
Try
I
again
don't.
real quick.
I don't think it's me echoing.
It's not you. Let me try again. Someone say something real quick.
Ah!
Ew, that was so
my
loud.
ears.
Oh God.
Steam. There, I said something.
I think the echo is fixed.
It's.
I think it's because you screamed.
You're welcome.
I think it's only when I talk weirdly.
I think it's like it's only you echoing on your own computer. Because I don't
Probably.
hear echoing.
Is it better now?
No.
Say something.
No?
Say something. Like a sentence.
I have to message
Hello?
Mike real quick.
Okay,
Is
we
my-
can hear you. But
Okay, cool.
say something longer if you echo or not.
You do something I know that I can actually do well. Let's read some names off my wall that I can see from here.
No, I think we can tell now. You're good.
Yeah.
You're good.
I'll ever monologue about finding something to monologue about.
When you monologue from trying to monologue. Oh, how the turntable.
We have like
It
an
was
hour.
genuinely about to be.
Yeah.
Probably.
Hang on, I just gotta check something real quick.
MC poster on my wall.
Right, Maya, you got the powers.
Okay, so,
I think church is deafened. Maybe we should wait.
Yeah, probably.
Wait. Oh, yeah. It's like both muted and deafened.
Mm-hmm. So Grifflock being
I'm
canon.
working on some color grading, but I'm trying to make it back. Trying to make it work.
If you cosplay Jerissa, you have to get on TikTok so you can join us in making asking videos.
Yeah. We should have thought of a tag for asking so that all of our videos would be in the same tag. I didn't think of that.
Oh, that would have been so good. But that also
Yeah.
would have gotten just immediately
And
Not
we
asking,
all
we could have thought of
asking, like in Borealis college or
Yeah,
something.
we could have.
very
Yeah.
true.
yeah, and we can't edit
just asking.
I mean, we all feature on each other's accounts a lot, so it's to get from like one to the other.
Also,
Yeah, that's true.
the problem is like because I don't have a green wig. That's why I'm doing color grading.
I have to be like, I mean,
perfect time to
I am-
dye your.
I am not 40 years old nor. But
Yeah, and I'm not mixed race or plus size, and I still cosplay Lillian.
we're just
Okay.
vibing.
Yeah, I do not have yellow eyes, and yet here I am cosplaying Rowan.
You don't have to look exactly
Hey.
like a character to cosplay, and that's on half the cosplays I do.
It's about having the vibe. It's not actually about vibing with the character.
I sit here in my one green shirt.
okay, so is
With
Church
Hannah Foster.
is Church back?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've been back.
Hang on. My mother is needing help ordering food from fucking son of a look, it needs help with the skip the dishes. Why the fuck? Okay, hang on. Just make a login. It's not that deep. Or use mine, because the address is already installed on it. My skip the dishes account is my email. Christ, there. Okay. So, should we have a school roam scene, or should we have a school block scene?
Good luck.
What's
I
the
agree,
what's the
totally
verdict?
squip block.
We all agree. Good luck. I think probably
Yeah, sure.
$10 to
Okay,
do.
Okay, so I'm gonna say that this is later during the night. I'm gonna say that this K-Log has. This is gonna be a solo scene, so I'm gonna say that K-Log has returned home. And what does K-Log usually do after a day at work?
Like after, so I assume he's finished like his classes. If
Yep.
any paperwork to like, I mean not work, but like any things to grade, he sort of goes over them. Like playing something in the background, probably like Magic Radio or something.
Magic Radio.
He talks with Casper for a little bit, sort of like, "How was your day? Good. My day, good." And then I think he was that like, as a dad would probably like watch TV for an hour before going to bed or something, like living room, and then he'd go to bed. Say that's the general vibe.
Evidently, my skip the dishes account is wrong. Then make a new account. Sorry. So I'm gonna say that K-Log is grading tests, or grading assignments or something. He's kind of sitting at the table with his like. Does he have reading glasses, or are his glasses just for like distance seeing?
I think like reading classes. Like doesn't need them to see on a
Okay.
daily basis, but it's like late and he's reading fine print. He would need glasses, like a dad.
Yeah. Okay. Like a dad. So he's got his reading glasses on, and he's got Magic Radio playing in the background. I'm gonna say that Casper's off upstairs, maybe talking to Seb or something, but Casper's simply not present in the room. And it's a fairly quiet setting. Magic Radio is playing in the background. What song is playing on Magic Radio?
Oh God, I don't know where to. We do that too much, but I don't know music.
It's playing Gimme 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 a Man After Midnight.
Okay, yeah, I'll take it. It's playing Gimme Gimme Gimme. So it's quiet. You hear the vague rumble of cars outside, the brushing of leaves through. You hear the rush of wind through leaves, and I think it's pretty calm. The song goes, "Gimme, gimme, gimme, hummin', hummin',
It's like
hummin'
slow
after
motion that you said.
midnight." And it kind of like slows down, and it stops. It skips for a couple words, specifically on "A Man After Midnight," and it stops.
Okay. Right. That so K-Log sort of like he doesn't really notice it because he's focused on grading, but then like it like, skips over words a little bit. He does turn to look at it. He sort of just like and he like stands up. He's like sort of smacks it a little bit, not too hard, just sort of like to see if it does anything.
So he smacks it a little bit, and as he does so, the lights flicker, and he hears a voice sort of behind him, like near the wall, and it says, "Won't somebody help me chase the shadows away?"
Oh. So it's like behind K-Log.
Yeah.
He's like apparated, like he can see him, or is it just a voice?
It's just a voice for now.
Alright, so he does turn to look like the source, and sort of like flickery light. And it's like, well, this isn't what I was expecting to listen to. Well, great tests. Can I help you? He's sort of a bit
His phone starts
flabbergasted.
ringing. His phone starts ringing.
He sort of he glances down at his pocket and at the room, sort of like an okay, I see what you're doing, kind of look in his face, and then he like picks up the phone and like just like clicks enter, but he doesn't say anything.
So it begins to speak. It goes, well, you made it out okay?
Yes, that is true. We all did, thankfully, and your help was appreciated.
Of course. I mean, after all, I can accurately say that without my help, you would not have made it out as nicely as you did.
Sort of like bites his like cheek as I'd rather not think about some of the pleasant outcomes of outing.
Of course. I mean, I would rather not think about that either.
He sort of like, he tapped his foot a little bit on the. He's still like standing in the sort of like kitchen area. That's where General grades stuff. He sort of like tapping his foot and I just so much noise in the background. Okay. And so it was like, well, it's like sort of. I'm not sure exactly how time works for immortal deities, but
Time works as time works normally.
well, is there anything that can help you with? I assume that you're not trying to check in on your grade for this last quiz.
No, not necessarily. I just wanted to, rather just check in, as it were.
Sort of like raises his eyebrows, like not super surprised, but he just sort of like, oh, kind of like look on his face and goes, well, that's appreciated. Check in outside of, well, you know, some
Of course.
dinner. But what about you? I'm not sure what you would do in your freedom.
You're kind of cutting out a ton. You're kind of just sounding like a robot, my guy.
I'm sorry, I'm sounding really just like the. Is this better?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. Sort of like, well, that's appreciated. I suppose not much has happened besides, well, you know, everything here is relatively calm after that adventure, which is appreciated. What about you?
I've been trying to figure a couple of things out, K-Lock.
Really?
Yes. As it were, even though I am a very all-knowing, powerful deity, I don't know a few things.
So that's true. No one can have all the power. He like sits back down on his chair.
Of course not.
Well, what
After
kind of
all,
things are you pondering?
Remember a few days ago when you spoke to the headmaster?
Yeah.
It may come to a shock to you, but I don't understand what happened.
You noises thing blowing out?
Yes, I don't understand it.
He's like Kalog like scratches his chin, sort of in thought. Interesting to happen if you were in control of it.
Yes, I typically find myself in control of most situations, so to find one that is out of my hands is somewhat jarring.
Well, it's sent to be in a situation where you feel control. I especially for someone like you. But however, we don't really, I suppose, have any means for finding out exactly what it was quite yet. I have a feeling it'll unfold sometime soon, probably. In the meantime, I suppose it's about not know things. Listen,
Kalok, I have a question.
go on.
Do you trust me?
Like, look at see that one thing. I suppose that we could define it in different ways, but as far as it goes with, you'll try to keep it safe. He sort of like gestures vaguely, you know, the group. I'd say so, which is surprising, but I find that it's true.
I appreciate your inclusivity of the group, Kalok, but I am asking you. Do you trust me?
He and like takes yes.
He kind of like sighs, and you kind of see the chair adjacent to I'm assuming it's like a table.
Yeah.
That he's sitting at. So one of the chairs a little further down, sort of like moves a little bit, and he continues and he says, "Well, we have a very, I'd say, unique method of communication, under the pretense that you are not one of my warlocks. You are not one of my wards. You do not draw power from me, and yet we communicate. Remember in the hospital when I guided you away from the trap, and yet you still went there?
I recall, yes.
Did you not trust me?"
At the time, I was still wary, I suppose. It's just to something where I am meant to protect other people. I tend to second guess a lot of things individually of where the advice or good intent may come from.
Of course. So you think that I'm evil?
Really sort of like chuckles at that one. Oh no, I wouldn't use any word. I find the entire term very archaic.
Well, when I first found my own warlock, aside from the first warlock that I had, when I first found Jeremy, his friend, he thought that I was downright evil. He thought that I was just possibly the worst person on the planet. And yet, here I am, alive, functioning, and working. Though I suppose functioning and working are two similar yet different concepts. You can function, yes, but if you're working, you're doing so effectively. And I'm surprised that I am still doing both at a realistic and productive rate.
Why does that surprise you?
Hang on, give me a second. The reason
Okay,
it
take your time.
the reason it surprises me is because can you keep a secret, Kalok?
I've done so before.
Well, have you ever kept a god's secret?
I have to say that's first.
Well, there's a first for everything, I suppose. I don't remember having any warlock before Raymond.
Caleb sort of like his eyebrows scrunch a little bit and just do the internal math. Huh, that is odd.
You would think that a god of lies would have more demand.
You think so? It sort of like thinks like the possibilities.
But of course, there are more gods of lies. That's simply how belief works. If you acquire a concept, and if enough people believe in it, something will manifest from it, and you will be able to believe in whatever that is. So I suppose that's where I came from, as with many other gods and deities. And
Can you still hear me?
I think you cut out.
Yeah, it's back, I think. Yeah.
okay, can y'all hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, what was the last thing that you heard me say?
You were saying that something manifests out of like the belief of people and sort of went
Yeah, okay.
and it cut out.
Okay. And maybe I find it interesting that even though there are other gods of lies, I've only had a spare handful of warlocks. And maybe it's because I'm not very good at lying, and maybe it's because I don't particularly enjoy lying. That's interesting, don't you think? That something born from lies doesn't like to lie.
Interesting is a word for it, but I suppose it isn't really surprising. Lots of people, creatures that sometimes to reject where they're from for any variety of reasons. Or it can go either way.
I don't feel any particular need to reject who I am, Kaylock. But there are certainly things left for me to understand. Like why I was unable to control my ability during your conversation with the headmaster. I can assure you I have not previously spoken to the headmaster. If you suspect that I am scheming with him, no, I have not spoken to him. But furthermore, I find it interesting that not only was it involuntary, but it was towards someone I had never worked with.
You sort of like feared sort of like unconsciously. Yes. Well, I suppose that all that anyone is ever doing is trying to understand. As time develops, that's what we do. But also, for the record, when it came to the headmaster at least, suspecting you, I mean, yes, that was the case, but not because you were in a working against us. Simply believe that you. I'm not sure exactly who or you are, but I don't think it's the detriment of people.
If I am not supposed to help people lie, if I am not supposed to spread dishonesty and chaos, I'm not sure why I am here in that case. Because, of course, I do exist so long as dishonesty and chaos does exist. Therefore, if Raymond's plan was to go off as he wishes it to, then I would cease to exist. And of course, I don't want to cease to exist. I have things to do. But I find it interesting that is not my first priority. Sorry, say that again?
What is your first priority?
I find my first priority being he kind of like he scoffs and he like rubs his you don't see it but he rubs his face. The chair scoots again. It kind of like pulls itself back and like moves a little bit. So you can assume that he sat down.
Mm-hmm.
And he just I find my priority is it's you and your friends.
Like he, for lack of a better description, he sort of looks at that. I don't know why I'm not more surprised. I mean, I wasn't expecting that fully, but I suppose based on your actions, part of me could see that. I can see that, how you've acted. So I start to think more openly.
I'm sorry if I've scared you in the past.
But under the or something. Sorry that
If
I
only
dissed at you at first.
if only other people were so good at simply moving past things. It's so hard working with teenagers when they deny and scorn your existence because, oh, you're an authority figure. God forbid.
I hear that. But, well, you get through certain things and you learn you have to keep moving forward to eventually move on.
You sound like you speak from experience.
It's like fingers on the table again and go, well, I've had quite a life. I think. It's, and he finds that he sort of that he's still speaking because it's not that he opens up about. But he feels somehow compelled. He goes, well, you said you don't know everything.
Of course.
So I do know this. I have a son, Casper Yu. He's upstairs.
Of course.
I had another son. He had him right out of college. He honestly thinking back, and I been to go down the warlock path, and I that way. I just think he's I think he would have been the kind of kid to think, you know what sounds fun? Being a deal god, why not? And acts and well, human strife is something he's rubbing the bridge of his. I'm assuming that experiences for mortal deities are very different than humans. But I think in a way we have a similarity. Which is that You don't know why everything happens. Sometimes things happen for no reason. But you can't have the answers. So, whether you find or not, simply keep.
He's quiet for a good while. And eventually he just says, "Can you put your hand out for me?"
And
Your hand, yes. Can you put it out?
after like stretches out his right hand.
And he feels a cold hand in his, and it just this one firm handshake, just one shake, and he feels a presence in the room that was not quite visible before. And sitting in the chair, a short distance away from him, is, well, him. And but he looks. I don't think you've ever really seen him before.
Nope.
Well, Kalok's in for a bit of a surprise then. He's got light blue skin and 5 horns in the shape of almost a crown, and this black gossamer sort of cloak, like scarf over his head, that sort of falls down his back and his chest. However, this time he's got what almost looks like a turtleneck on. It's like this tight black shirt that goes up his neck and down his arms, because he wasn't about to show up to Kalog's house with like a tank top on.
Makes
But
sense.
this long shirt sort of splits off at the hip and kind of has a longer piece going down, so it's kind of like a dress. And he's got these formal pants and these formal looking shoes. And he simply sits there, and he is staring at Kalok with these brilliant blue crystalline eyes.
Give me a sorry, my mom came in. So he's still like quote unquote holding his hand like from the handshake. And he once again, like he just keeps blinking in surprise. That's just like a default reaction of him. But he does that again. And goes, "Well, now I definitely feel underdressed," because he's still in the clothes like from when he went to class. But he like it's just like the tie is just sort of like loose, but he was too lazy to take it off, and so he's like he looks frazzled, definitely in comparison to all of that.
He laughs, and he removes his hand, and he puts it on his own chest, and he laughs, and he sort of leans back in the chair. And when he laughs, his eyes kind of crinkle, and you see these like wrinkles near his eyes. So it's kind of like a smug laugh, but it's still pretty nice. And when
Kalok
he
involuntarily smiles.
and when he laughs, you can see that he's got like almost like orc-ish fangs that sort of slip under his top lip, but can easily just slip out of it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But he's got sharp teeth, for the gays.
For the gays. Kayla sort of sits back and is like, I'm not sure how much of this is projection, you actually sitting here, you eating food or drinking coffee. I don't know
It's like a ghost.
about this.
It's like a ghost.
So that's a no on the coffee then.
No. But I appreciate the gesture anyways. This dude is fucking tall.
Yeah,
This
you said he
dude-
was like, what, 6'8"? Or what was it?
That's like his normal person height. My guy, this dude is like 8 feet tall, my guy.
Does
He's
he even
tall.
does he have to hunch over the fucking ceiling? I don't know how tall.
I mean he's sitting, so like he doesn't have to, but
Right, yeah. Alright, so yeah, Kalek is sort of like, he does have to crane his neck up a little bit just to sort of like be able to actually look him in quote unquote the eye. And he
gay.
gay. And he's sort of like, I'm thinking this just sort of moment, like, they sort of sit back and they're sort of in a relatively comfortable silence for a little bit, just sort of vibing there.
And I'm gonna say that he's the first one to speak. He says, despite the loss that you may have encountered, Kalok, I find that you are unique. I haven't worked with many warlocks or people who desire power, but I can't say that I have seen anyone quite like you.
And he, well, what I wrote up, but he basically sort of like raises an eyebrow at Unique, and he sort of goes, well, that's surprising. I always assumed that compared to the general populace, especially for however long you've been around, that people start to get repetitive.
Of course people get repetitive. I've seen many selfish individuals seeking power, but it's rare to see someone so selfless, yet self-preserving, yet noble at the same time.
You sort of like quirks little smile. Well, thank you. I suppose that would be he scratches his neck sort of. I have to say you are uniqueness, and no, not just because you're a god or whatever. So you're almost like a puzzle that I can't quite figure out. But at the same time, well, I want to solve it. I don't feel like I'm supposed to have all of pieces. I feel like you're just unto yourself in a way. And I admire that.
He smiles a bit. He blinks, and if you look at his eyes, you can see that he doesn't quite have like a smooth membrane over his eye. He doesn't quite have, it's not like quite a perfect orb. It's not like it's not fleshy or wet. It's almost like they're carved, and his iris is an indent made in stone that has these crystal fragments in it, like a geode almost. So there isn't quite a sparkle in his eye, and I don't think there really can be. But it's just interesting to note about his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And he sort of shifts in the chair, kind of refolding his hands. And he speaks again. He's like, I am unsure if I am supposed to be solved, to myself. I find it interesting that I am a higher being, and yet I cannot be explained to myself. I understand that there is something occurring that I can't see or hear, but I can feel it. And whatever it is happening to me, he pauses and he stares at his hands and he says, I don't think I would trust anyone else quite as much to help me resolve it.
Kellock sort of like does like a very gentle scoff. It's not me sort of like letting out a little huff of air. And well, I think that we all can understand ourselves, and it takes longer than one may expect. But definitely helps to have you to help with that. I don't worry too much about it. I feel fine. For what it's worth, whatever I am still figuring out, I don't think I trust anyone else to help me figure it out quite as much as you as well. And then he's like sort of like, but then he gives him like sort of like
OP, you cut out.
oh everything
He
cut
gives
out.
him what? What does he give him?
It was like everyone's still trying to figure themselves out. I wouldn't worry too much about it. Sorry, I can't vibe with the character right now. And it's like, for what it's worth, I also like, for whatever still to figure out, I don't think I trust anyone else much as you when it comes to resolving it as well. Like sort of yawns the end of the sentence.
Yeah. He just kind of falls quiet. He leans back in his chair, and he looks towards the TV. I'm assuming there's TV playing in the background. He looks towards the TV.
Yeah.
And he looks back at Kaylock. And he sighs. I would be willing to make a pact with you, but you don't have to.
And he sort of like does a vague gesture with his hands, but he's basically applying like a sort of warlock pact.
Yes. I feel as though I would be able to speak to you easier if that was the case, but it wouldn't be quite as extensive as Lillian. My connection with Lillian. It would be more along these lines, more along this sort of communication. I don't think I would like to, invade your psyche with visions of the future. I can only do that so many times, anyways. But this sort of thing, this speaking, it doesn't require much power or energy. And if you wanted to do it more, I would be willing to modify my typical agreements to accommodate this.
as Squib's explaining. And he's like, goes, and he puts out like his hand again.
And he smiles. And for the first time, as he touches your hand, it feels warm.
Oh my
And he shakes Kalok's hand, and Kalok, you see kind of this blue energy shoot up through your hand, and it wraps around your wrist almost like a bracelet, and it kind of settles in the pattern of almost like a circuit line, but contained within itself. So it's got like two nodes, and it wraps around your wrist.
Mhm.
And it simply like it simply sits there, and he's like, there. We will be able to speak, but in a sense that you will be the only one who can see me. I can't guarantee the same for Lillian. Lillian might be able to see me, but yes. I've given you the gift of sight or something.
Well, I do say, and he like extends like he like turns it over a little bit, looks over, and he goes like, "Well, I admit that the mysterious vocals had its charm. I do believe that this will be more efficient. Also, a little taste. That's surprisingly, I don't know why I said that. That was like me.
Well, I suppose I should let you get back to your work, then?
Kellogg like involuntarily yawns again. He glances over, like he still has so many papers to look over because while he's like, right, I forget sometimes that I actually have a job here besides adventuring.
I'm sorry to have kept you from it thus far.
No, it's quite a pleasant distraction. And he gives him like a warm smile.
Of course. Now, I suppose I should get back to, finding visions, and he's you can clearly tell he's a little bit off his rhythm.
Kick off his rhythm.
You threw him off his rhythm. I suppose I should get back to tending to my warlocks and seeking visions and things along
right, godly
those,
matters.
Yes, of course, yes, very important matters. Yes.
Good night.
Good night, Kalok. And he stands up from where he's sitting, and he stands up kind of too fast, and he bonks his head on the ceiling for a moment, and he goes, ow, and just as he like goes out and like flinches away, he vanishes.
He his hand like a moment he was like about to bonk, like wait, and like he's gone before he can like properly finish the action. So he, for a second he gives like a little chuckle, and like he gives like one glance to his wrist as he picks up his pen and continues papers with a smile on his face.
God,
I am just sitting here.
Bro,
I am literally sitting on my desk next to my mirror because it's as close as I can get to the fucking router.
Bro, I am just sitting here.
I'm just shitting.
That was so cute.
I fucking love that.
Okay.
I'm just like imagining like this like out of campaign scene where it's like that one audio where it's like, "Why are you gay? Who says I'm gay? Why are you gay?
You are gay.
You are gay."
Bro.
Kalog as Swimmer Kalog's like, why are you gay? And Kalog's like, I'm not gay. It's like, you are gay.
I have loved these sessions on, but I definitely think that like future session K-Log needs to take a step back. He's been very much at the and of my mates, but I want to sing.
Yeah. Sorry for continuously shoving you into the middle of this scene, Zamari.
It's okay. I'm done with it. If I deal with Casper showing up, the character who is not even technically my character, I can vibe with anything at this point. I'll crump with you.
I'll crump with you. So, I think I know what I'm gonna do next. I don't know, Shine, how much time do you have left?
Honestly, because I snuck up here, we've got all the time in the world, basically. I just might have to be quiet.
Huh.
Spicy.
Okay.
We need to disconnect and connect anyway because this is glitchy BRB.
Okay.
Which, if y'all can deal with a little echo, like, after midnight, we should be fine.
Okay, so here's the thing. I don't know how much longer until I have to go eat. So I'm gonna try to wrap it up within the next few scenes.
Alright.
I have the last scene for this session planned out. I look Mike dead in the eyes.
Oh.
Mike,
wow.
you better warm up your ominous voice. But I do have an idea for the rest of the gang, because Kalog's busy being gay in the other room. So I have an idea. So it's around the late at night. Everybody's back in their dorms, and the Ass Gang dorms hear a crisp knock at the door.
Rowan glances at the other two and goes to look and see who's at the door.
Well, wait. What are you guys doing? It's later at night. What are you guys doing in your dorm? What y'all doing?
Probably homework.
Probably watching TV or something.
Yeah. Like vibing in whatever
like,
living room? Question mark.
Yeah, they're like a little communal area. This is on the TV. Like the second one, it's like halfway through the second one. And I'm assuming they're all like doing homework.
Mm-hmm.
She does homework.
A lot.
Yeah, so crisp knock at the door, interrupting vibe session.
Rowan goes look through what I'm assuming is like a little peephole in the door to see who it is.
Mm-hmm. It's you haven't spoken to him, but can you roll a wisdom check?
Sure. 10 plus 1. 14.
What'd you get?
14.
Okay, cool. With 14, you can. It's not that complicated of a thing, but it's Theo's boyfriend.
Oh. Rowan opens the door.
He's there. It's Mason. It's Math.
My babe.
Mr. Math.
He's here.
Wow.
I like how Mike's in the VC like, what? What? Okay, maybe don't tag Jody because Jody lives in like Britain and it's like 4 a.m. Unless they're online.
Yeah, they're online.
Why the fuck?
They're on Do Not Disturb though.
Bitch! The son of a bitch. Why are you awake?
Why are you awake? Interrogates you before continuing.
Why are you here? Why are you awake?
Why are you gay?
Hi, Jody.
Why are
I'm
you
eating,
gay?
but I want to say hello.
Hi, Jody.
Why are you awake? Why are you
Hey,
here?
what's up?
Of course you were drawing Evil Gordon, you stupid gay bitch.
Everyone's be like Half-Life VR, Half-Life VR.
Bitches be like Half-Life VR. Bitch, I have a full life outside of VR.
Sir.
I love Evil Gordon so much. And regular Gordon.
I know nothing about Half-Life except for the passport guy. Looks like
There's
a
there's the
Sorry.
aliens.
I just think Ben Ray is really funny, as a concept, because his fucking design is so ugly, and yet, of course, it would be what Tumblr girls fangirl over.
There was an explosion, and they do science.
Yeah. Anyways, just a slight recap for Jody. It's the middle of the night, and Mason gave a little knock on the dorm door. He's gives a little knock. Do you open the door for him?
Yes,
Or you
yes.
just-
You do.
Rowan opens the door and is like, "Oh, hey, you're Mason, right?"
Yes. I have to figure out how am I gonna voice. I'm gonna voice Math. He kind of like stumbles back. He takes a step back because I guess he was standing a little bit too close to the door. I mean, it sounds like something he would do. He was like inspecting the door and like the paint on the door. But the door opens a little bit too quickly. He's like, "Oh, hi. Is this the correct it's late. I don't want to interrupt, but is this the ass house?
Yeah. Yep, it's the ass house. And don't
Ass
worry,
house.
you're not interrupting anything. We're just watching
Okay,
Descendants 2, I think.
that's a good one.
Lillian like pipes in the back. Yes, the second one.
I've heard good things about that movie. I swear I'm not trying to sell you anything, but may I come in?
Yeah, of course.
He kind of like glances over his shoulder and he has to duck underneath the he has to duck under the door frame because he's a half orc and he's kind of tall. He's got little orc teeth that poke out. It's kind of cute.
Cute.
Like, sorry, kind of tall. He's like, since he's a half orc, he's probably like a couple inches taller than 7 feet. So like,
Jesus.
he's very tall. Why the fuck did you make him so tall? This was unnecessary.
God, and Rowan's like barely over 5 foot, so opening the door.
It was so he'd be a foot taller than Jeremy. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. You were the one who created the tallness war. You were the one who did this. Now everyone's trying to be taller than each other.
Jenna Marbles' voice. I want to be tall.
Anyways, so he's kind of he has to duck under the door and he's like, again, I feel bad for interrupting. So I promise I'm not here to just simply come in and disturb your night. That's just kind of rude. But do you guys know where Theodore is?
I haven't heard anything from him, and they glance at Drissa and Lillian like, have you guys?
I haven't seen him anywhere.
Neither have I.
Because I know where he is, but the location that he's in is a little bit suspicious to me. And now I don't. This is going to sound bad, but he's been speaking to that woman often, very often. I think her name Rose, was it?
Oh, yeah.
I've spoken to her about once or twice, and she gives me. This is dumb. I'm sorry for barging into your house in the middle of the night. This is kind of dumb. Just gives me an interesting vibe. Interesting's not the right word. I'm sorry. Should I leave?
No, you're fine. Don't worry. This is concerning. We should definitely talk.
Okay.
I don't know what I'm saying. Okay.
Yeah. I've never really noticed her at this school, and I know that she's a student here, but
I'm gonna.
Wait. Maya, did you cut out there? Was that just on my end that everyone's...
Yeah, mine was like super silent.
Okay, Maya, I think you cut out.
Yeah, I had mine muted. I thought that it was just on my end, so like.
Yeah, I assumed it was on my end.
Same. Yes.
Yes, you're dead.
I am eating a French fry. Many Frenchy fries.
Funky.
Jason is dead.
Right,
He
mid-sentence.
died. He died mid-sentence. What was the mid of the sentence that was left off?
It was like, I know that she's a student here, but
Yeah. I know that she's a student here, but one of the older students. Of course, you can go back to college at any age. It's never too late to learn new things. But I've never seen him speak to her until about a month ago, when things started going for you all. I somewhat know what's going on. Theodore has told me a certain amount of details about the situation, but again, I feel bad for intruding. It's just kind of rude.
Seriously, you're okay. Stop apologizing for coming. The worst that you're interrupting us from is homework, and that is always okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
I will
man,
agree with
who
that
cares
one.
about
It's a bit,
homework?
yeah. I mean, you should care about homework, but
But like, this is more interesting.
I'm a sports major. It's more important.
so
Anyway.
I was just wondering if any of you knew about this situation.
I mean, we've definitely DM. We've definitely seen them like talking together at the cafeteria before, right?
Who?
Theo and R.
Yes.
Okay. So I mean, I've definitely seen Theo talking with her before, but like, I don't know. I don't think he's ever really mentioned it. I don't know. I just kind of assumed it was something. I didn't realize it was something like out of the ordinary that he was talking to her.
I don't want to sound this is going to sound really bad because I'm his boyfriend and it's going to sound really clingy, but I swear it's not a clingy thing. It's not. I don't want to sound like a bad boyfriend, but it's strange. It's just all it is. It's strange.
Yeah, I mean,
And there's just another thing that I find strange.
really?
He kind of like swallows and kind of glances away, and he looks back. He's smiling.
Huh.
Lillian's like standing at the door now, like kind of like leaning on Roan's shoulder a bit. Isn't it good for him to be smiling? Wouldn't that mean he's like?
I mean, of
happier?
course, I love it when he smiles often. But it's not often that he smiles, and I'm not saying that he has reasons to smile when it's a reserved thing. It's hard to explain. But it's less reserved now. I notice it's more of a different attitude that I don't typically see him having. He's kind of like fidgeting with his sleeve.
I'm not trying to discredit what you're saying or anything, but is there a chance that maybe, what even is our setting here? Could she be a therapist maybe kind of deal?
Yeah, I think she's studying child psychology.
Oh, huh. Okay. I mean, so you say that it's
Isn't a child.
true. You say that he's like, when he smiles has changed. Is it like at weird times that he's smiling, or just more?
Of course, Theodore does smile at weird times. He's Theodore. I wouldn't change it for the world, of course, but it's hard to explain. You know, this is a bit dumb. I feel kind of dumb. Still breaking into your house in the middle of the night, telling you about, oh, my boyfriend's smiling.
You did not break in. I literally opened the door and let you come in. You are fine.
Now that I say it out loud, it kind of sounds ridiculous. My boyfriend, he's smiling. Wow. Guess I have to go tell people about. That sounds really gay. Should I leave?
No.
Look at the room. No one cares about you being gay.
Sorry,
But-
the gay.
Like Lillian, basically like hugging Rowan when it's like, I'm sorry, I'm being gay. Like when they're like right there.
Okay. I mean, obviously, if you're concerned about it, there's a reason you're concerned about it. Like, I doubt it's just... I mean, I don't know how to say this, but, like, it's okay to be concerned about this, even if it doesn't seem like something that should be concerned about. You can still be concerned about it, if that makes sense. Anyways.
I'm a bit paranoid. Because a few weeks ago he was all focused and all determined, and he had a notebook on him all the time, and he was like, I'm going to go do research about the people being kept in Omega's basement. I still don't quite know who Omega is, but he goes and he interviews people in someone's basement, and then comes back with notes, and then he talks to me about these notes and all these crazy things that's going on in this kid's basement, which is I'm kind of concerned about that one. But he's always got something to talk about, but often he's quiet and he doesn't seem focused on this strange conspiracy he was chasing, and he's speaking to this woman more often, and I don't know.
Yeah. Is there anything we can do?
Do you want to come in and sit down so we can talk?
I mean, I'm already in the room, but sure, I suppose.
They're all sitting on the couch.
He kind of like he sits on the very corner of the couch, so he's not disturbing too much of the couch.
Oh my god.
Teresa throws a Capri Sun at him.
Ow.
Mason, you can relax. Here.
He's
you're
sitting
good.
on the armrest.
That does not look comfortable.
It's fine.
No, seriously, just sit.
I
on the
am
couch.
sitting. I am
No,
sitting
you're
on
sitting
the
on-
couch.
You're sitting on the couch arm.
Well, that's still part of the couch.
Rowan is like trying to hold back laughter this whole time. You can sit on the couch like we are. Normally.
You know,
It's
What is
okay.
the couch for if not for sitting?
display?
Well, this one is not for display.
If this one was for display, it would have looked like this.
Okay, I suppose that's a good point. He stands up, tries to move to the couch, but he just can't bring himself to do it. He sits on the floor.
Okay. Rowan sits on the floor too.
I guess
Cool,
we're on the
you're
floor.
doing this now. Okay.
Floor. They're all sitting on the floor now.
I guess we're on the floor.
We're all on the floor.
On the floor.
She throws a Capri Sun at him.
Ow! Again. Ow.
Okay. What can we do to help?
I don't know. Now that I think about it, it seems kind of ridiculous to come and be all worried about it, but I can't help but be worried.
Yeah. I mean, you can keep an eye on him, I guess.
That
Not-
would be helpful.
Okay. Yeah, we can totally do that then.
Yeah. Just keep an eye out for Theo. That would be nice. Because I am not much on the whole big heroic conspiracy theory sort of thing that's going on with you all, but I guess by proxy I am involved with it. So that's fun.
Yeah. Very fun.
Very fun. Well, if you ever need anyone to, I don't know, review an evil English paper, I'll gladly lend a hand.
I was gonna say our English paper's evil, but yeah, they definitely are.
They are all evil. Absolutely. Every single one is evil.
Okay, well, here, give me your number so that if we ever see anything weird, we can tell you right away, because I don't think I have
Of
your
course.
number yet.
Oh, yes. He kind of pulls out a notepad. Not a phone, but a notepad. And he writes down his number on a slip of paper, meaning he's memorized his number, which is something I haven't done personally because I can't remember numbers.
Same.
And he kind of hands it over to Rowan and goes, no hetero.
No hetero, of course.
No hetero, of course.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, we'll tell you if there's anything that we see that's weird.
Of course.
Let us know if there's any weird things specifically that you end up thinking of that we should look out for, like other than the smiling thing.
Mhm.
Yeah. Is there anything else?
Nothing comes to mind necessarily.
All right. Do you want to
Again,
stick around for the rest of Descendants too? We can start it from the beginning if you've never seen it.
Well, then we should probably start from the first one, but we don't need to get into that.
well, I don't want to interrupt, but are you sure it wouldn't be interrupting?
No, if you were interrupting, I wouldn't have asked in the first place. You're good.
Okay. Then I may, indeed, stick around, and take you up on that offer.
Yay! Hell yeah!
Hooray. Okay. So I feel like that's a good place to sort of let the scene peter off.
Oh yeah.
Mason
They all
stays
have
on the
a
floor.
marathon of Descendant.
They watch Descendants.
Excellent.
So I feel like this is the end of sort of like the player interaction scenes. But I stare at Mike dead in the eyes. Later that night, around let's say 1 a.m, we see the L house, and we see Omega's secret lab entrance open, and we see down those stairs and through the dimensional gate, we see Omega, and he's moving around his lab late at night, and he's got computer screens open, he's got technology abuzz, and he moves, and the camera we see Sutton laying on a cot, and Sutton has a bunch of nodes attached to their skin, strapped up to these computers. Sutton agreed to stay overnight to monitor their sleep cycle to see if anything strange happens in the night, which likely nothing will happen. But it's about 1:20 in the morning when something, in fact, does happen, and it happens a little quietly at first. Sutton is laying on the cot, and Omega is sitting at a table when Sutton speaks 2 words.
Hotel. Romeo.
And Omega sort of perks up a little bit and kind of looks at Sutton, and he, as quietly as he can, but as fast as he can, skitters over to look at Sutton. And he looks at the brain monitors and the heart monitors, and he kind of stands there in shock and a little bit of terror as Sutton continues speaking.
Lima. Oscar. Golf. Golf. Echo. Delta. India. November.
And Omega is afraid. And that's the end of our session today, everybody.
Oh no.
Sticky. All right.
POV, you're me trying to figure out what the words mean.
Yeah, I missed the ones before golf. So that's where I'm trying to get the spell. So I get HR.
Lima. Oscar.
Oh, HR in. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh god. Oh fuck.
Oh
shit,
no. Oh no.
The second it's Romeo, I'm like, I know this is things,
I
but
thought there was an
I
actual
missed
hotel.
I didn't know that it was after whole Romeo, so it took me a bit to start writing.
I thought it was an actual hotel, and he started saying nonsense words, and I was like, what?
It's the spellings from the military. I'm not sure if it's from the.
All I know is that the one character in Animal Crossing uses them.
That is true.
That's
all I know.
There is mystery afoot.
there is shit up indeed. My God.
Did I do good, Spook?
Dodo.
That was a
Dodo
good spook.
airline.
That was a
Thanks.
very
Oh, I
good
can't
spook.
believe
Dodo.
Dodo is a Dodo bird from Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
That was a good spooky. I gotta get you to do more spooky more often. That was a good one.
You do.
I do.
I do my best.
I feel as though when Raymond eventually does speak, I feel like I won't be able to voice him.
This is where Mike steps in.
You're
Mike
just furiously typing into DMs.
Mike standing off stage like, now this is a gamer moment.
Oh, poggers, guys.
Now
I-
this is what the kids like to call a pro gamer move.
Thank you, Raymond. Very cool. I
Are
feel
you
like
guys hear the squeak?
yes. I'm gonna have to leave soon so I can go eat some food with my family. But yes, that was our impromptu session. We should do this more often. And next session will likely be the last either the last or the second last because I haven't decided on the padding yet. But second to last before the final battle.
Oh my god.
Yep. I'm so
Hooray.
excited.
Wow.
I'm gonna put something in the app chat for us to have a bit of fun, but yes, I'm excited.
God, trying to do Teresa style on a computer. Oh no.
Anyways, I am going to end the Craig.
Bye, Craig.
Bye,
Everybody say bye,
Craig.
Craig.
Hey, Craig.
Bye bye.
Okay.